think the thing with Anne is she's not a victim. And that's why so many people, and particularly women, go, oh, thank God, you know, she's not a victim. She's eccentric because she is absolutely open. And so therefore, in some people's eyes, it's too much. It's like she's too joyous or she's too in despair, but there's no barrier. She doesn't filter herself. She doesn't censor herself. To me, you know, people have a very strong opinion of who they think Anne is, and I certainly had my own. And a lot of that's informed from who she is, where she came from. I don't think you can erase a great deal of who somebody is. I mean, we are an accumulation of everything that has come before us. To me, it's an epic love story. I think that you take an orphan who's then won over the hearts of a community and found a place of belonging. And the first Anne was really about finding a place of belonging. And the second Anne was about establishing that sense of belonging and going beyond that. And through that, she found her nemesis and that person she kept rubbing up against, which was Gilbert, who then ultimately became her soulmate after she had a whole lot of highfalutin ideas about what she thought love was. She finally got back to the fact, no, love is actually you. And so then this story is really about their relationship. What happens is he's taken away from her. And then she has to fight for the one piece of family she has left, and that's her husband. There are obstacles that come into that. And obviously the biggest obstacle is the other leading man, is Jack. The biggest character in this, other than Anne, is the war. I mean, it's the biggest factor in this piece that affects everybody's lives. So when you take a circumstance that's bigger than any one person's personal dreams or desires, and it's you're acting it out on a world stage, which is enormous, and where the consequences and the conditions and the circumstances are all, they're huge. It's somewhat Greek in its proportions. It's I mean, certainly the piece is epic that way. Kevin Sullivan is choosing to say something by having it put against that time frame. It will automatically say something about the world by having it, because it isn't Road to Avonlea. It's not a time of innocence. That time abruptly comes to an end. As a woman, I didn't want her to fall into a typical storyline for a female, have her be the damsel in distress. I think that would be doing a tremendous disservice to the kind of character that Anne is. She is a bigger-than-life character. We're not talking about a realistic person necessarily. She is a heroine. She is a Canadian icon. That's who she is, and therefore I think anything can go with her. The thing about Anne is that she's always judged ultimately for being a person before she is judged being a female or a male. It's not a question of that. It's for the content of her mind and how she ends up, what she ends up achieving or not achieving, or who she ends up winning over or not winning over, or what trials and tribulations she goes through. But she's judged very much for being who she is, and there's not a lot of those out there. There's not a lot of those female roles out there, and we, I think, audiences and men and women, we need more of that.